pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mayor Beagle,
I am here.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Present.
Councilmember Behrman,
Present.
Councilmember Gottschall,
Here.
Councilmember Brendan Fox,
Here.
Councilmember Sharp,
Present.
Councilmember Smiley,
Here.
quorum present.
Very good, thank you. Changes or additions to the agenda tonight as presented. City Manager?
We do have a revised new business number 2. That's the only thing that I would bring up, Your Honor.
Very good. Any from the dais? All right, moving on. Approval of minutes. We've got one set of minutes to approve tonight. That's from the regular City Council meeting of December 14th, 2021. Do I have a motion? Thank you. Any questions? Correction? All right, I got a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the regular City Council meeting of December 14th, 2021. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We have no correspondence tonight, which brings us to the first call to the public. The rules for the call to the public are as follows. The public shall address the council during the call to the public, which shall be included on the agenda immediately after correspondence and again immediately after new business. The first call to the public after correspondence shall be limited to agenda items only. A person shall not address the council in excess of 5 minutes unless the time is extended by majority of vote of the council present. Persons wishing to address the council shall identify themselves and their place of residence and shall state their reason for addressing the council. And all comments by the public shall be made directly to the council. Do we have anybody for the first call to the public? All right, seeing none, I'll close the first call to the public and move on to City Manager's report. We have two City Manager reports tonight. First one is the Fire Monthly Report of December 2021. Any questions? Councilmember Gottschall?
For the fire department, I did have questions. I had two questions here. One was just to check in on how recruitment and hiring has been going since the auxiliary position.
We received a fresh or new applicant today, and it's in the process.
Okay. And then I recently saw a report, I forget if I had read it or saw it on TV, but it was about a shortage in like EMS and EMT staff. And I guess government assistance program, but only local government units can take care of that, not third-party vendors who we happen to use. Have we been encountering any like issues with Huron Valley or anyone else when it comes to like staffing for our calls or for Wixom as a whole?
So, yes, to your question. Last report I read, there's 1,000 EMT paramedics short in the state of Michigan. Huron Valley Ambulances experienced about 30 personnel last report that I seen. So it is absolutely affecting their operation, and what they're doing is browning out some of those response areas that they cover. And I want to tell you, they have 200 ambulances in service on a regular basis. So response times for their agency has been extended in some situations, but they're not our primary. The fire department still responds as the primary emergency response in the city of, which are delaying some of the transports for non-priority patients. If they have a priority, meaning that they have a true life-threatening illness or injury, we are taking them, or we get a higher priority for the ALS group.
Okay. Do you foresee a situation, I mean, if we continue with staffing, or if they, I would hope that one like brown out like you mentioned Wixom, but if something needs to happen, do you see us needing to increase our transports?
Yes.
And do you think, I'm not sure if you've looked into that grant they were mentioning, is that something that we could take advantage of in the long term? I don't know if it's the same as, there was another one when we were talking about recruitment a few years ago. I think there was one where the grant would cover like the first 2 years and then we're on it for the third year. Is it that same one or is it a different
So the SAFER grant, which you're referring to, is through FEMA. The other one is through the CARES money that's coming to the state of Michigan. Currently, there's $5 million, $100,000 per community to be used for recruitment and retention of new members. Some of that money can be used for advanced training of current personnel, and the city manager, myself, and the director are looking at that as a potential. The finance director has got copies of that too and is aware of it also.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Councilmember Berman?
Thank you. Maybe just a clarification for Councilmember Donald's comments, but so the transportations were 76 by Huron Valley and 2 by us. Were those 2 by us ones that Huron Valley couldn't respond to, or just?
No. So typically, Huron Valley Ambulance is called to the same calls we are, and they send an advanced life support unit, which is the paramedics that have the drug box, the medication, life-saving stuff that the fire department doesn't currently possess. So if it is deemed that the patient is not life-threatened or critical and the response time for Huron Valley is extended, the fire department will then do the transport to leave that advanced life support vehicle unit in the area.
Okay, so that's what I said. Those 2, in theory, would be ones that, because of their staffing issues, we had to transport.
Not because we had to, we chose to keep that unit available.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Councilmember Grenlund Fox?
Thank you. Good evening, Chief Roberts.
Good evening.
The grant that you were referring to for the recruitment costs, you said we were looking into it, so is that something that we are definitely going to pursue?
I think it's too premature to answer that yet. All the guidelines I'm not sure on and what the requirements might be of us to use it.
Because I believe the deadline is pretty quick.
February 15th, I believe. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're reviewing it to make sure that it makes sense for us, and we're not quite there yet in terms of figuring that out, so.
I'd like to see us do that.
Yeah. It's an area that we can always do better in, and that's money that would assist us in doing better, so it makes a ton of sense, right? So just a matter of make sure that it's not too much of an entanglement that we can't benefit from. That's the only question, really.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else? Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got the police monthly report of December. Any questions for Public Safety Director? All right, seeing none. We've got the consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the items will be removed from the consent agenda and added to the regular agenda at the end of unfinished or new business. Do I have a motion? Support. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Very good. We move on. We have no unfinished business tonight, so we'll move on to new business, which is new business number 1 is an appointment of deputy mayor in accordance with the City of Wixom Charter, Chapter 4, Section 4.7. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support?
Thank you. This is a appointment, and I would like to appoint Deputy Mayor Resnick to return to be deputy mayor. He's done a good job filling in. I don't want to say this, but he is one of the senior members of the council, so I think it's a good fit for us. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Do you need a second on that, or is it?
I think we got a second, don't we?
Oh, I meant on the who, not the what.
Oh, yeah. So I'll need a motion and a second for.
So moves.
Support.
Okay, very good. You can, but.
Well, I'd be honored.
That's what you want.
I'd be honored to serve again.
Perfect, thank you. So I've got a motion and a second to appoint Deputy Mayor Resnick to return as deputy mayor. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good, thank you. New business number 2 is a recommendation to confirm the mayor's reappointments of Julie Andrews to the Board of Review with a term to expire December 31st, 2024, and Michael Dornan to the Tax Abatement Review Board with a term to expire December 31st, 2024, and the appointments of Mark Garmo and Katie Guzowski to the Downtown Development Authority with terms to expire June 30th, 2022 and June 30th, 2022 respectively. Do I have a motion? So moved.
Support.
Okay, very good.
Clarification, regulation.
Yeah, I did. It's, the term for Katie will be June 30th, 2024, and Mark Garmo's is June 30th, 2025. So I have a motion with those.
So moved.
No. So moved. Okay. Yep.
I have one question.
Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
I understand that, so the appointee Mark Garmo would take the vacancy.
Yes.
By Smith. Was there another resignation then, creating those vacancies recently? or-
Well, we're allowed up to 13 members and excuse me. Yep, so this will be in addition to, and we do have some members of the board right now that may be stepping down in the near future, so we'll be able to continue to have a full board this way.
Okay, thank you.
And with us tonight, Katie is here. Katie, if you want to step up and introduce yourself and give us a little history.
Sure. Thank you.
Well,
Hi all, my name is Katie Guzowski. My husband and I, Clerk, is joining me tonight. We've been residents downtown since spring 2015. So we've seen the city grow immensely since then. I've helped out with the Parks and Rec a little bit. It's kind of where I started, and then recently hooked up with Laura and the DDA board and have had a really great time helping out with events and planning. So this is just my next step of helping out the city here. So thank you all for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
thank you. Thank you for stepping up. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Question? All right, seeing none, I've got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to confirm the mayor's reappointments of Julie Andrews to the Board of Review with a term to expire December 31st, 2024, and Michael Dornan to the Tax Abatement Review Board with a term to expire December 31st, 2024, and the appointments of Mark Garmo and Katie Guzowski to the Downtown Development Authority with terms to expire June 30th, 2025 and June 30th, 2024 respectively. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Move on to new business number 3. New business number 3 is a Wage and Salary Committee recommendation to increase the city manager's annual salary to $120,000 immediately, increase the clerk's annual salary to $81,000 retroactive to July 1st, 2021. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Very good. All right, just a little history on this. On December 7th, the Wage and Salary Committee met, and a couple of the items that was brought up was a discussion regarding the salary adjustment for the city clerk and the city manager. And based on the reviews, the job reviews that they've had and the performances that they've done, Wage and Salary Committee thought that it would be appropriate to raise these salaries and bring these salaries up to the standard of what our neighboring communities are paying for these same positions. So with that, do we have any questions? All right. Seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the Wage and Salary Committee's recommendation to increase the city manager's annual salary to $120,000 immediately and increase the city clerk's annual salary to $81,000 retroactive to July 1st, 2021. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, it brings us to, that concludes our business portion of the meeting tonight. Move on to the second call to the public. The rules of the call to the public are the same, with the exception of this time you can speak whatever's on your mind. Do we have anybody for the second call to the public? All right, seeing none, I'll close the second call to the public and move on to city manager's comments. City Manager Brown?
We have one item on the city manager update, Your Honor, regarding our deputy clerk, Crystal Apalco. continuing to pursue her designations through the International Association of Municipal Clerks. There are two designations or certifications, if you will. Certified Municipal Clerk, which she accomplished already in 2019, and the second one is the Master Municipal Clerk, or MMC, which she's currently continuing to work toward. So we wanted to recognize her on that and her continuing efforts at attending the Master Municipal Clerk Academy in Mount Pleasant recently. We want to say thank you to Crystal for her continuing efforts at improving her qualifications and certifications as our deputy clerk, and something that our own clerk, Kathy Buck, has pursued in the past. So we encourage her to continue on that path and wanted to bring it to your attention.
Good. You want to speak briefly on the goal-setting process memos that were dropped off?
Yeah, if anybody has any questions on that, we're looking to have those goal-setting forms returned to my office on January 25th. I know it was brought up at a recent council meeting. It was something that was on our mind as administration as well, so it was a good combination. So we have those forms ready for you to fill out. There's a printed form that you can use, or you can contact us and request an electronic file that we would send to you in Word that you can complete that way as well. I did provide a sample of that for you to see how it would look in comparison to the hard copies that we provided. So if you're interested in that, just let my office know. We're looking for those to be returned on January 25th, and then we're looking to schedule a meeting after that, which is also covered in the memo. Sometime after that period of time, probably February 8th or February 22nd is two possible dates for us to have an actual formal setting of discussion to go over those goals that are submitted by you, and then revise them, come down to a consensus, and get something finalized for our upcoming fiscal year so that we can use those in our budgeting process if there's a fiscal impact. And then just in our basic day-to-day operations and capital improvements and other aspects of conducting city services, we're looking forward to feedback from the mayor and council as to what your goals and priorities are for the upcoming fiscal year.
And also, let's look on our calendars too. It's never too early to start setting meetings dates for the budget itself too. So,
yeah, we can have Marilyn get a couple of dates to me as to what she's considering, and we can provide that to you as well.
Good.
So we look forward to that process.
Good. Assistant City Manager Benson, anything?
Yeah, I do have just a couple of small updates. Some of you may have noticed some activity across the street in the former 7-Eleven site. We do have a new tenant lined up for that location, 1111 Burgers and Fries. They have a location at Haggerty and 10 Mile and Novi. If you're interested in getting kind of a sneak peek of what that's like. But that is exciting. They're in the process of getting building permits. And so it'll be nice to see that vacancy filled up.
Is the Mexican restaurant going to expand a little bit too?
We're not sure yet.
Okay.
That's possible. It's our understanding they're not taking up the full 3,200 square feet in that unit, so there may be 1,000 square feet left for either a different future tenant or an expansion to the restaurant next door.
Very good.
Just two other things. One, Workhorse, which is an electric vehicle manufacturing company, we've been in conversations with them to locate a tech center here in Wixom. They're based out of Indianapolis. This would kind of be an offshoot of that. And they were recently, just this week, issued building permits to retrofit a site over on Alpha Drive. So that's it's a very exciting project we've been kind of talking about and working on with them lately. So that is exciting, along with Yukon America, which is a 30,000 square foot building being built also on Alpha Drive. They're in the chemical space, but they employ engineers, and it should be a nice facility. They were also issued permits this week. So just some exciting kind of economic development related things that get the new year started right.
Yeah, as mayor and council know, the electric vehicle segment is something that's likely to see a lot of growth in the future, and we're starting to build some a bit of a sector in that regard with a prior new business land that we had with XL Fleet on Beck Road. With this Workhorse addition, we're hoping to continue to build on that momentum and have a growing sector there and a key aspect of the automotive industry here in Wixom. We're excited about it.
Very good. Keep the good news coming, Drew. All right, we'll move on to council comments. Councilmember Berman.
Thank you. I hope everyone had a good holiday and a good New Year. Just thank you to the DPW for quickly clearing the snow throughout that. The only comment I would mention is the barricade by the railroad tracks down on Maple Road has been hit. It does need to be fixed. But beyond that, look forward to the rest of these meetings being as quick like this year.
Councilmember Gottschall.
Well, I'm about to filibuster. No, I wanted to thank our newest volunteer board members. It's always nice to have people play a part in our city, and especially new folks who haven't been on boards before and whatnot. So I always appreciate their time and effort. And then I also wanted to thank and congratulate our deputy clerk for continuing to be a great asset for Wixom and our residents by continuing her education. Thank you.
Very good. Councilmember Grenlund Fox.
Nothing additional, thank you.
All right. Councilmember Sharp.
Thank you, Mayor. No, just wanted to congratulate and thank Mark Garmo and Katie Guzowski, and Katie especially, thank you for coming tonight. That's more time out of your schedule, and I appreciate it. Shows your enthusiasm and interest, and I know I speak for the rest of the council, we appreciate volunteers in the city. So thank you, and Happy New Year, everyone. I look forward to a good 2022.
Very good. Councilmember Smiley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too want to thank the appointments, Ms. Andrews, Mr. Dornan, who are reappointed. And yeah, it's always great to see new faces with Mr. Garmo and Ms. Kozowski. Many hands make for light work, so it's great to have people involved and connected to the city doing their thing. And then congratulations to the reappointment of Deputy Mayor Resnick. Thank you, that's it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, thank you, council, for your confidence and support as Deputy Mayor. Look forward to serving the next 2 years in that capacity. Thank you again to all the volunteers, and Katie, welcome aboard. We've got, just a note to the public out there, there are 3 vacancies currently on Parks and Rec and 2 vacancies on the Senior Commission, so there's still a lot more roles to fill here within the city. So if you've got any interest at all, sign up and send me your resume. There's a little online form that you can fill out. We'd like to get those filled as well. And we've got some exciting programs, through Parks and Rec, and we could use a few more hands on that as well. And I guess just thank you to Crystal, and it's great. For those of you that read the newspapers over the last couple of years, know that there's been a lot of issues with city clerks throughout the country, throughout our state and all. It's one thing that we can be very proud of is our clerk's office here in the city, and Kathy and Crystal, and they do a wonderful job, so it's great to see Crystal following Kathy's footsteps and getting that education and getting it. And Happy New Year. We're looking forward to a great 2022 and great economic development in this too. Super. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, and I just want to welcome the volunteers to the Wixom family. It's much appreciated, and I know that without all your help, our boards, our downtowns, our parks and rec areas, they wouldn't be the same unless we had all the volunteers that could help us do all that stuff, so it's much appreciated up here. And I'd like to congratulate Crystal on attending and getting her clerk's degree. And with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Support.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thanks, guys.